episode of One versus One Me. What's happening over there? Being robbed. I'm Cakes, and that there is D. I always do it wrong hand all the time. I have many legs.
You're pointing the opposite way to the way you are.
That way, yeah. No, I will get used to it. It's just StreamYard flips it.
Well, it doesn't flip it. It makes it how we are, if you know what I mean. So we see it how, flips it in.
Shut up, D.
I know. I can't explain myself, so shut up.
I'll forgive you, just this once. Just this once. Yeah. So how you been? What you been doing? What's been going on in D-land?
Yeah, not too much.
No, that doesn't work.
Really, to be fair. I've done some glow-in-the-dark resin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making something for Tiff's birthday.
Oh, you can text me later. Obviously, don't say I'm here in case she's watching.
No, so actually, no. She helped me. She kind of helped a little bit with some of the bits. Not like fully, but she mostly just sat there and watched me do it. But she did a few little bits at the end. And oh, cheers, Jen.
hang on. You've just been flirting with Jen. You do not get to flirt with me too. You made your choice. You made your bed. Lie with it, motherfucker.
Yeah, we saw you two over there.
I saw you. No flies on me tonight.
Get a bloody room. Stop using Jamie's bloody chat as a bloody dating site. Come on.
Go on then. So what are you making for Tiff? I'm excited.
Well, like I say, yeah, no, it's more triangles and some pendants and some little. She bought a new mold basically for me, and it's got some little spheres in it, so of varying sizes. So just all glow in the dark. She just loves glow in the dark stuff, really. So yeah, basically just a homogeny of what happens.
Do you know what you should make for her? Maybe for a birthday or something. And 1 sec, can you do my hot water bottle, please? I need a big red button just up here to say, like, I am live, leave Cakes alone. But you should make her a resin base for her lava lamps. That would be really cool, where you could have the wires going through it and, like, try and hide the wires in the resin. And that would be really cute, like a stand for
Could
it.
do, possibly.
Can't make that out of hash. That's what Dan just said. Good, yeah. The lava
not that type of resin, Dano.
You know.
Not that type of resin. Yeah.
My cat's scratching against the bag, and that's what that noise is. That you can, it's just not.
Like Dano was doing a little tappy music along in the background there, like. Yeah.
He's in the kitchen where he belongs. Excuse you, woman. He's supposed to be making me tea.
Not after that snowy remark.
Vlad! Yes. Sorry, Vlad's in chat. He is the kind of inspiration for me moving over to BitChute.
Oh, YouTube is absolute garbage. Is that Vlad? Everyone needs to delete their YouTube channels and quit watching YouTube altogether. Nah, I'm going to carry on. I'm not scared because we've clicked the button not for kids. Dee's going to write a banner right now that says not for kids and put it up there.
Yeah, this show is not for kids. Get the fuck away if you're a kid.
Not for children over 18s, please. And I was... That's the main point. Well, no, that's the beginning point of this video, is because Dee put on a video the other day about COPPA, and I was, what's COPPA? I hadn't heard of it. You know me, sheltered little being. So essentially, for me, I don't think it should be down to YouTube to decide what's for children and what's not for children. My tablet's just turned itself off. Babe, is there any chance you could boot your laptop up, please? Okay. Yeah, so just lost my chain of thought because my tablet's just gone and my chat's disappeared. Well done, brain. Yeah. So it's down to the parents. So my son has a Google Home Hub. His Google Home Hub's here because he sits at the table, and I sit just over there. Is where I sit. And Dan's next to me. So we can always hear what's on Freddie's Google Home Hub. Unfortunately, yeah. And I have the app on my phone as well, so I can physically see what he's watching. So I find that's pretty well safeguarded. So if we're cooking in the kitchen and we need Fred he's not got homework or he's not got anything to do, he's on his Google Home. But we know what he's watching. And he's very honest with me as well. I say, do any of the people you listen to swear? No, Mom. And I say, what would you do if they did swear? And he says, well, I'd turn it off and I'd tell you. He is very good and he knows this. And I've done the internet safety thing with him. Sorry, technical changes here. Dan's bringing me over his laptop and because mine's upstairs. I should just use my laptop, really. It is shit. It is garbage.
How's it going, man?
Unplug the controller.
How's it going,
charger,
everyone who's joining us?
I can't see who's here, but how are you guys? Let me know how you're doing. What you've been up to this week?
I'll tell you what. I'll put everyone up on the thing. Just to start from the beginning. We got Juan Carlos. Hello.
Juan Carlos.
You have Uno78. Hello. You have Jennifer Winterberg.
I am the hot girl.
Hello.
So hang on, Jen's flirting with you. Uno's trying to flirt with me. It's all going weird today. Dan's got his nipples out. What are we gonna do, guys?
We have Vlad, who is leaving YouTube. So, I mean, go and watch his video, just so you can get his link to BitChute and go and catch him on BitChute. And like that's gonna be my advice to a lot of people: get a BitChute account.
We were just talking, saying we'll upload to
Jamie here,
as
Vegan
well.
Realist.
You're right, Jamie. How's things?
Jezzy Wezzy Whatnot.
Jess. Hi, Jess.
And Madame Medusa has shown up as.
Yay! Right on time, Madame.
Oh, and
D's
we have
frozen. Oh no, it's not. Phases with a Z. Because they're the sniping crew, aren't they? Cool. Well, welcome, guys. Yeah, let us know how you're doing. Let us know if you've discovered something new today or this week, or raged about something, or seen something that's made you really angry, like COPPA has with D and I. Because it really should be down to parents. Like you were saying on your channel, where's the responsibility?
Yeah.
You know.
No, it is, and like I say, I mean, it's just a matter of time, like I say, and it doesn't matter what you do, whether you click targeted for kids or click targeted not against kids, not for kids, then you can get caught out either way because the wording of it is so vague. And this is after trouble. I probably should have got a copy of it up so I could be shared. I'm not going to go looking for it now. But you will just type in COPPA regulations and I'm sure you'll find a copy of it anyway, guys. But yeah, no, it's just really, really vague. And you're more at risk when you actually click not for kids. Because...
Yeah, you were saying this.
Yeah, this is where I think a lot of people are getting caught up. It's like if you've put your products as not, if your channel is not for kids, then... if you do something that they consider is aimed at kids, that's when you can get fined for it. That's where this $42,500 fine comes in. And it's the FCC that's going to be enforcing this. I'm not sure how much legitimacy they got in other countries than America, because I thought FCC was an American thing. But
like buzzwords and phrases pick you up, don't they?
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Thank you, Juan.
Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
Yeah, and this will cover all of the internet. This isn't just YouTube. YouTube are only enforcing it now because they got fined $180 million. Yeah, so they're now they're enforcing it now. Any site you go on falls under this Child's Online Privacy Protection Act, technically.
And I mean, the thing is, as much as I wouldn't like a child watching our show, for example, our show is not the worst show that a child could be watching. You know, granted, we have talked about Epstein, and we've talked about horrible things. We mentioned drugs, we mentioned alcohol, we mentioned loads of other things that children should not be around or aware of. But it's not the worst. We don't put the worst thing. And when you see videos of like Cardi B and what's the other woman that I don't like, Nicki Minaj, dressed in
I know
like
that one, yeah.
boob tubes, they're pop stars. They're not. They're garbage. They're auto-tune trash.
I
Cardi
knew
B
Nicki
makes me.
Minaj. Just Cardi B, I've heard of. I don't
So
know. Like,
you might have heard me raging about her about 8 months ago when all this shit with her came to light. So essentially, she was a stripper before she was a musician. And I use that term very fucking lightly because she wasn't a fucking musician at all. So she used to strip because that's what strippers do, and nice. But she used to drug her clients. So she had clients, which means that she was actually a sex worker as opposed to just a
she's a
stripper.
prostitute as well as a stripper.
Yeah.
Right. So
And she used to.
yeah, no, yeah, no, with the drugging now, I know what you're talking about anyway. But go on.
Yeah. So she used to drug men and steal from them. And people are like praising her, being like, "Oh, power to her," and all this shit. Oh, if that was a fucking man, like seriously, if that was a fucking man, there'd be uproar. Like his career, his credibility would be gone.
See, this is where we need
Vamoose.
validation, boy, because I'm sure he'd be able to pick out the exact agenda that's going on behind it all.
Right.
But yeah,
Let me catch up with the chat now. I have chat. Ta-da. Sorry, carry on.
Now, new edition. How's it going, Chris?
No, that's my Cakes crush. She's a hottie. Thank you. I'm just in a daft mood, guys. Excited for your show. Amazing. We've already read that. Cakes, any pikeys where you live? No. I live in a nice area. Epoxy resin. Hello all. Daft. What does that mean? Jennifer, like, unhappy. Oh, I've got fucking top chat, not live chat. You ever get your beard caught in a wood chipper?
Oh, no. I get it caught in me food quite a lot. When I eat now, I actually have to tuck it in. So that when I'm eating, it's not flopping around and dipping in my food. So, yeah.
What am I smoking there? That is my vape. Jamie sent me here to troll the chat. Try it. D, you've knocked 20 years off shaving your beard.
Yeah,
There you
I did
have.
a little.
You look like a schoolboy. You did a bit more of a trim, didn't you? Look at you.
Yeah, well, I've literally I shaved.
Yeah, he's all
shaving about half an hour ago, so this is as close as
weird to me.
Yeah, well,
wow.
yeah. Jamie told me to raid the chat. Whatever that means. Prepared to be raided. Amazing. Cartoons are really bad and should be banned. Chris, it's when a live stream. Yeah, we know what that means. How you doing, Chris? Right, I'm up to date. I have a chat back. I feel much better. I feel much more secure in the knowledge that I'm not going to miss. Wow. That I'm not going to miss anything that you guys say unless I choose to ignore it. So if I don't respond to you, it's because I've chosen to ignore you. New age top you're wearing is awesome, D. I have some kind of
fucking new age. Fuck off.
New age.
Who said that? Oh, that just popped up. I did. If I'm not fucking new age, I fucking hate that shit. Sorry, no. This is just a nice, comfortable cotton, naturally cotton top, like saying quality. Yeah, I know it's my hippie top, and I shouldn't blame you for calling me a new agey and all that shit because it's a label, and I look like it.
You look transcript with a girl and the company, or whatever you want to call it. A man's been, he went to prison a couple of years ago now. The fucking hiccups again. Yeah, he went to prison a few years ago. So don't call it that, Jamie. That's a poor choice for unless your channel's actually about blue whales. Please don't do that, because you will be in serious shit. Like they will just close your channel down. My chat's frozen. Baby laptop.
I know it's probably just people that aren't chatting. That's kind of
no,
how it
everything's
happens. Yeah.
There we go. No, it's all right. It's back. Everything had frozen and gone weird. But it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, I just don't call it that.
Sorry, I'm gonna do some gratuitous self-promoting here, and put the link to my BitChute channel in the chat.
Yeah, cool.
So well, that's mine, even though it's come up as OneVsOneMe, because unfortunately I'm using StreamYard and I'm logged in as OneVsOneMe. But that's Eternal Padawan's BitChute channel. If you want to go over there and sub, feel free. I've only got the Randy Andy video on there at the moment, but I will be adding more as I get my PC and get the editing going. So
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see all your little edits. I say little edits, that makes it sound like condescending and demeaning. Like,
no, that's all it will be to begin with. It'll be trash. Yeah, it'll probably take me a good year, maybe a year and a half to get into this properly. Yeah,
it's your old frail mind.
No, it's not that. It's just I don't know what is possible. So it's not just going to be learning what I can do. It's going to be learning what is possible to do. If you get me,
yeah. No.
So yeah, it's
obviously,
going to be,
no.
But no, I mean, and like I say, with all this COPPA stuff, I advise you guys get over to BitChute. You can start up an account for free. There's nothing like that. Obviously, you can choose to pay as well, donate to them and that kind of stuff. Get people to donate to you. People, like, you can put your if you've got Bitcoins and PayPals and all this kind of thing, you can put all that stuff on there, and it's a lot freer than YouTube for speech wise and stuff as well. That's all. I mean, technically, you could sit it there naked, and there's like that's fine as long as there's no actual sexual acts going on. It's fine. So yeah.
So you're going to be streaming shirtless if we move to BitChute?
I might do a nude video one day. Yeah, just sat there having a chat in a total noddy wad. But that might wait till next summer and do it maybe at the nudie beach or something.
When it's not cold, is that what you're saying?
Well, to be fair,
when there's no shrinkage. Oh, my paper fell down. So the backstage of StreamYard is bright blue, so I have to cover that because you can see it on my glasses otherwise.
Yes,
really
like you can on mine. Like, yeah,
so I have to cover it with. I've got a little bit of paper there, cover most of it.
Mine does a bat without my glasses. So, like, I look like Jamie without my glasses. I have to squint, but even then I can't.
Do the teacher thing. Yeah. Naughty. Behave. Tom Corner already did a naked stream. Is he? I don't know who that is.
We had Tom Corner on as a guest.
Oh, I didn't know his second name. Oh, yeah,
that's Tom
I don't
Corner.
want to watch that. I don't want to watch that at all. Has StreamYard done it since we last streamed? StreamYard's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, you can only stream 20 hours a month now for free, which Jamie is very disappointed about. I think it's pretty generous, like giving anything away for free and getting 20 hours.
Yeah, I was trying to say in the
more
chat
than enough
for
most channels. Unfortunately, Jamie's above average in user time, so he is missing out, unfortunately. But he has figured out a way around it. Or we hit on something. I'm not sure who came up with the idea when, but me and him kind of synchronized earlier, and a way has been figured out around it anyway. I don't know whether he's been off and experimented it or not yet, but
are you gonna elaborate the?
Oh, well, basically, he's just gonna, instead of going live on here like we are now, just do it before you go live and just do it on OBS, so he can still send links out and stuff to people, get them in. He just won't be streaming on StreamYard. He'll just be using their behind the scenes platform. You know, where if I end the broadcast now, we can still talk, and I could still invite people in, and we could like do it all offline. So yeah, no, it was just one of those.
That's very clever.
That happened during our conversation. Just, I don't know, like I say, whether it was him that thought of it and I caught on immediately and finished it, but he started and I kind of finished the inspiration, I suppose.
I've just discovered that Dan's not subscribed to us, which is upsetting.
No support from your own boyfriend. Fucking
I know. Doesn't give a fuck about me.
Kick him out in the cold for an hour.
I'm joking. He's staring at me now.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're gonna wake up dead tomorrow.
I'm gonna wake up dead tomorrow.
Oh, we all heard it. We all heard it. If it happens, Dano's in trouble.
Send help. Have you read the
super secret signal that you're in trouble?
Have you I wanted to talk about something quite grave, but this is like really low at the fucking tone. Really low at the tone. But have you read much of the news this week?
No, not at all. Not one single little bit.
Of course not. Of course you haven't. So you haven't heard about the terrorist attack in London?
Oh, I've heard about it, but it's a fake. It's obvious false flag. You can tell it is almost immediately. But go on. Either I mean, it's on the news. It's a false flag, but that's my evidence. Yeah.
So, the guy was shot dead on the scene. The terrorist that had supposedly been out for a year, and within an hour or so, Parliament's released statements. Members of Parliament have released statements saying there needs to be tighter laws on terrorist attacks. However, on terrorism, not just terrorist attacks, on the actual terrorists themselves. However, if you put tighter laws on the terrorists, you have to lower human rights, because you can't have some of the rules that they want to impose against terrorists goes against national human rights laws. So it's just, again, false flag. I think it's just a ploy to make us willingly give up our human rights without protest, and for us to not see that our human rights are being taken.
It's not even to willingly give them up, it's to ask for them to be taken.
Yeah, asking us for them to take. Yeah, exactly. Because people are wanting to bring back death penalty for terrorism. Now, I don't believe that the death penalty is a deterrent, especially not when it comes to martyrdom kind of terrorism. They want to die. A suicide bomber that lives has failed.
Yeah, but not all terrorists are suicide bombers.
No, I know they're not. But if you look at a lot of terrorists who are willing to die for their cause, for them to then die during their cause, is that not what they want?
Yeah, virgins not.
Okay.
Well, this is the thing. You just, because from my understanding, like, most of these terrorist attacks are fake anyway. But the ones that are real, they're not really smart people that are doing this. They're really smart people that have manipulated idiots into giving up their life for a hyped up cause. So again, this is death penalty for these people failing. You're killing an idiot, basically, is what you're doing. And so, but I am all for death penalty. I'm fully
are?
But I'm more about, well, it's, again, it's have to be cut and dry case, right? None of this, like, we think there's substantial evidence here, like, bullshit. It'd have to be like,
yeah, nothing circumstantial.
Almost in immutable evidence, if you know what I mean. Like, just saying that can't be. but like I say, that would be to me, that'd be extended to rapists and paedophiles as well. So, and again, not just your everyday like date rapist. I'm talking you're like serial rapists and the ones that destroy the women that they like, and physically, like, I know mentally you can't, that you're bound to get destroyed, but if they physically like made a woman like not be able to have children or something because they've destroyed the womb or that kind of, you know, the real horrific shit, then yeah, that is your opinion there, Juan. But in my opinion, we are the creators. So
would you call the death penalty, would you call that a deterrent, or would you just call that a punishment? Because
it's a punishment. Yeah, it's a solution. It's a solution to a prisoner problem, is what it is. And a society problem, because not being funny, like, right, if you have a fight with somebody in the street, you accidentally kill them, yeah? No, you shouldn't be sent to death for that. Yeah, no. Even though you've both got into a fight willingly, you've killed somebody. That's manslaughter to me. That's accidental.
I agree.
If you go out with the intent to kill someone and you kill someone, you're a murderer, if you know what I mean. So again, it would be case by case. I'm not trying to make any blanket statements here or anything about that kind of stuff. But yeah, and it is. It's definitely not a deterrent, because
it doesn't. The fear of
through the roof, even in the death penalty. So yeah, to call it a deterrent is unrealistic and a lie.
Yeah.
But no, it's so I just truly think there are some people that can't be helped and they don't deserve to carry on living. Am I the one that should decide that? No, certainly not. I don't think any one person should be the one to decide that. Again, we'd have to change the whole legal system for the death penalty to work properly. Or the lawful system, because it wouldn't be the legal system we were dealing with in those kind of crimes anyway.
Uno's just said something. You know, I don't really agree with the death penalty in most cases, and I certainly don't agree with that the electric should make a comeback for a more painful death. Yeah, the electric should make a comeback for a more painful death for bad doers. No, because there's one thing there's one thing to take somebody's life, but there's another thing to torture somebody. That then makes you just as bad as them, in my opinion. Like that wanting to end somebody's life in a quick, as painless as you possibly can way, because they're a detriment to society, is different to torturing somebody.
No, just a detriment to society is certainly not something I would call a death penalty.
When I say that, you know that I mean.
No, I know what you meant.
Me personally, I am against the death penalty on most like, you know, pretty much what you've just said. And hey, VB, how are you?
We needed you earlier, VB.
Yeah, we did. I can't remember what I said.
You've got a few things wrong with your Star Wars video, mate. I can't remember exactly what they were off the top of my head. The biggest thing was the lightsaber colors. You were totally off on that one, even in Legend. But yeah, and you've got to be careful nowadays talking about Star Wars, because you got canonized Star Wars and Legends now. So yeah. But anyway, sorry, but nothing major. Like I say, it was. I did enjoy that little video you did and your analysis. So don't necessarily think you were right about it, but you know, I think George Lucas was literally giving us a gateway to how everything works in that movie. So, but go on. Sorry.
I agree, Cakes. Taking life is not the answer. And Ono said, I don't agree, Cakes. They should feel the same pain they showed to their victims. But I don't agree. I don't agree that torturing somebody.
To me, it is. That's just sadistic thinking.
Yeah.
Like, two wrongs don't make a right.
No, they don't. So, and if
trying to rehabilitate the unrehabilitatable is a waste of energy, resources, and ultimately they may as well be dead anyway, because they're only going to be locked up in a cell for the rest of their lives, which is what kind of life anyway.
And And the thing is that let's say that it's somebody that's killed loads of children, right? As a mum, my son has died. Causing somebody else a lot of pain isn't going to solve that. It's not going to take that away. Killing them, I don't. The idea of them rotting in a cell, honestly, is what appeals to me the most. However, that's not what would happen, and that's the problem. Is that as a taxpayer, keeping somebody in prison doesn't bother me as long as they deserve to be in prison. It really doesn't. If they deserve to
as a
be there,
taxpayer, that got me. Sorry.
I pay tax, so therefore,
as a
no, but I
responsible
pay
member of society,
as an adult,
as a
as
Christian.
the adult on this channel. No, but seriously, like I would rather my money or our money collectively as a society was spent on them staying in prison. The problem is that a life doesn't now mean a life. A life means like 6 years, and then off you pop, you're out. There we go.
Well, in this, in this country certainly, and others, it's not quite the same. But yeah, exactly, exactly, Chris. Why prolong the inevitable? I know that's what you might be saying there, Chris, but that's what I'm gonna add to that. Yeah.
And no, I see exactly what you're saying. So Uno says, no, D, not sadistic, just an eye for an eye. They don't deserve to live in a cell while a loved one is dead in a bloody grave. But to me, I feel like being dead is easy. That's it. It's easy to die.
Well, yeah, no, it is easy, but like I say, and don't get me wrong, Uno, I'm fully on board with killing them. I just don't think it should be done in a sadistic way. There's no need for that, because if you're killing them in a sadistic way, or who's killing them in a sadistic way, surely that has to be a sadistic person that does that. Yeah. So what we're going to do? Maybe the most sadistic prisoner in the prison who's killed the most people. Oh, we'll make him the executioner because it doesn't matter because he's going to be executed next anyway, or something. I mean, what kind of loop are we going to get into here? So no, I mean, don't get me wrong, killing them is bad enough because again, the mistakes will be made. But at the same time, like I say, there needs to be a line drawn in the sand, and I certainly. If somebody killed one of my girls, like, it wouldn't go to trial anyway. Like, I mean, I'd get my hands on them somehow, or I'd like, be, like, yeah. But so I'm more for self justice. Like I say, I really think the family should be able to decide what happens to the killer, basically.
Yeah, and
family decide.
Adding on to what you said. I don't think anybody who's a functioning member of society would have the capacity to sit there and physically torture somebody to their death. I just don't think they would. I don't think anybody. This isn't barbaric times. We're not living in Victorian days. We're not living back in the day where England was great. Love me some cholera. No. I don't think anybody who truly understands the ramification of torture and pain could ever sit there and press the button. I just don't think you could. I couldn't sit there and torture somebody, me as myself. I could not do that. But then at the same time, there are farmers. There are mass farmers. So the system creates monsters who are also their victims, and that's the thing with our justice system, is that there isn't really, is there any real punishment nowadays? On good behavior, you get Xbox 360s, you get loads of stuff.
We're supposed to be punishing them. That's the whole point. We're not. That's not what people go to prison for anymore. If you talk to, they're going there to be rehabilitated. They're going in there to be reprogrammed. Yeah, to be indoctrinated into thinking like everyone else does. Yeah, it's not about punishment anymore. It's just like I say. So like I say, and don't get me wrong, I understand what I'm saying when it comes to killing people and stuff is wrong. It's not the best solution, but until we come up with a better one.
And should people be going to prison for things like petty theft? And I legit know somebody who went to prison because they stole a lighter. Genuinely, I know somebody. He stole a lighter. Police tackled him to the ground, hit him. he tried to stand up because he was being hit. And I've seen the video footage because the CCTV footage was in his court case. He stood up, didn't try to run. He just wanted to stand up and get the police off him because they were hitting him. And that's it. Prison. And he was in prison for 18 months or 2 years, I believe. He was in there for a while for stealing the fucking lighter. Like, stealing's wrong. Like, you shouldn't steal. But at the same time, what drives people to steal? What forces people to steal? You know?
Nothing forces them to, but
forces people to feel like they need to steal. Is that better? Does that word it better for you?
No, force shouldn't. I mean, it's a choice. It's always a choice. Like I say, even if you're starving to death, you know that it's somebody else's property and you're stealing their food, whether it's for your survival or not. Right? I mean, you are still committing theft. You just got to hope that the person you're stealing from is good enough that they're going to understand that. And like I say, we should be decent enough, right, to not consider somebody taking food from you who's starving as theft, but we don't. So, sorry.
No, I agree. But I don't know. There seems to be a lot of people in prison for a very long time for crimes that I personally wouldn't necessarily consider massive, great big crimes and reasons for them to be in prison. Yet there's so many people that are walking away with minimal, bare sentences.
This is the thing what people forget. Every time we scream for a new law, we create criminals. Yeah. So every time there's a new law, new statute or legislation or whatever put into place, you've just created criminals that day that weren't criminals the day before. So by making new laws, you can never make less criminals. You can only ever make more criminals with more laws.
Of course.
Literally, I mean, try anyone out there, try and break my logic, please, because I mean, but unfortunately, it's the only logic that makes sense to me, and unfortunately, that's somehow the system we've ended up in. Because I think, like I say, we're at like 70,000 legislations or statutes or whatever you call them in this country now. It's ridiculous, and it's against what those legal statutes not to know every single one of them.
Ridiculous. It may be easy to die once executed, but in the afterlife they will forever burn. That depends on.
I don't agree with that.
Who judges? No, I don't. Who judges good and bad? Is there a heaven and a hell? These are questions that nobody can ever answer unless you've been to heaven or hell. You can't answer them.
Even the premise of that kind of afterlife just doesn't makes no sense to me whatsoever. So
no.
I don't think there's a punishment. This may be a test, but I don't think we're punished if we don't pass. I think we just have to redo the test.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And that's taking it very, very to
literally
the bare bones of my theories and stuff. Yeah.
Because it's how many things do you have to pass the test? What then? Are they judging on a good character? Are they judging on your knowledge? Are they judging on your philosophies?
Whatever you think it is, it's probably not, because if you're being tested, I would imagine they wouldn't want you to know why you're being tested, because otherwise it'd be easy to fake the test, if you get me.
Yeah. I once knew a guy, and I honestly can't remember for the life of me what his name was, but he sat behind me in my form room, and he was Sikh, and I once questioned him, and I was like, why are you Sikh? Like, what why? And I was like, do you actually believe? And he's like, I'm not sure, I really don't know. And he said, how can anybody know? We can't know. He says, I don't believe in those people who claim to have spoken to a god. I don't believe any of that, because they're just average mundane people in the day-to-day life. And that to me, that rings very true. He says, but let's say there is a god, well, I have to pick out of all of these gods, and my family has chosen this one, and I agree with my family, because if there is an afterlife, and if they have chosen the correct religion, I get to go with them. If there isn't an afterlife, then none of us go. And I kind of liked his way of thinking, but at the same time, I don't want to live in fear that I am being judged by an all-knowing being for not choosing something correctly or not choosing my correct path. I want to believe that I am in charge of my own thoughts and my own doing as much as I possibly can in today's Big Brother society.
I want to put a big banner out in capitals now. Belief is a thief. Like, I mean, it literally, I mean, believe what you want. This is the thing. I've got ideas. I don't believe any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched, this is the greatest thing I got from Dogma. If you've ever watched the movie, it's an awesome movie. It's just have ideas. It's so much easier to change ideas than it is anything else. Like, your beliefs are a lot harder to change than your ideas and stuff, and it really is. So I mean, just be careful what you believe.
And that's the thing. I've been called fickle quite often because I'll often change my stance on different opinions and different things, and that's because I'm forever growing and I'm forever learning, and you don't just suddenly one day stop. Well, I suppose some stubborn people do stop learning and decide my word is law and all the rest of it, but I'm not that kind of person. If you bring to me a thesis or a theory or whatever that you think is more logical than mine, I will hear you out and I will listen to you, and then I will form my own opinion and my own ideas on what you have said, and you may very well change my mind, and that's a big difference with us. And a lot of the people in our chat are quite similar to me and Dee, because I know Dee's the same. Like, I have persuaded Dee in different ways on tiny little things. Same with both of us. And it's very easy to change your mind. But if you believe something, then you're supposed to be set in stone with that. So you can call me fickle all you want. That's just me growing, motherfucker. Abide with me or else. Follow this rule. Yeah, Juan. And just ask for forgiveness. Yeah. Speaking of JC, every year on Christmas Day, my brother shares a post that he shared for like the past 7 years, a happy birthday Jesus post to his wall, and it just every Christmas it just cracks me up. Like, yeah.
I do like that scene in Full Metal Jacket when the drill sergeant makes them sing Happy Birthday, and they're singing Happy Birthday, and you're like, hey, what? And then they get to the name, and it's Happy Birthday, dear Jesus. Happy birthday to you. Yo, Dagan, how's it going, man?
You're right, Dagan. And this whole asking for forgiveness, I'm not going to ask for forgiveness because I haven't done anything inherently wrong. You know, I stole and shoplifted as a child, but I've paid for that in our judicial justice system.
See that again, legalities
so for me,
got nothing to do with moralities.
No, but that's the only thing that I've done that's inherently wrong. I don't tend to lie to people unless it's to protect them, or if I'm hiding like a surprise, like with my son, and I'm like, no, we're not going to the cinema. No, we're going to the Bolt shop. Like, like that. That's the kind of lie that I tell. I don't tend to lie to people. I don't do people harm purposefully. Again, there's a difference between doing harm and obviously you guys taking offense. I don't give a fuck if you take offense, fight me. So I don't think I have anything. This is a really shallow, egotistical way of thinking. I have nothing to be sorry for. I have nothing to ask for forgiveness over. I don't. Unless you're going by your biblical terms of sex before marriage. Well, that's going to take too long.
You fucking slag.
Slut. Sorry, babe. I'm going to get on my knees and apologise.
Dano's standing up then.
Dad's like, yes, let's go. Welcome, my. Huh?
You can't do it while you're on camera.
No, just not not while we're on cam. Walk a mile in another man's boots and careful what you wish for. I think if D chopped his beard, he'd change his way of thinking. I think if you left the US Army, you'd change your way of thinking, motherfucker. Hi D, hi Cakes, what up Dagan, how's things? Star. Okay. And then there's Dagan with loads of things. Okay, cool. Good shit. How are you today, Dagan? What's going on? But yeah, do you have anything to ask for forgiveness over D?
Oh yeah, probably. I imagine I've done some pretty shitty things. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, anything you regret is something that you have to atone for, basically. So if you have regrets in your life, that's something your moral compass or your fulfillment compass or whatever. So something inside you is telling you missed an opportunity.
So I have had regrets, but I guess I have come to terms with regrets that I've had. You know, yeah. Cakes, I love how Cakes, I love how you say motherfucker. Is that how I said it? I'm not actually sure how I said it. I say it a few different ways, to be honest.
Beep,
I'm
beep,
glad you're all good,
beep,
Dagan. Beep, beep, motherfucker, beep, beep. Yeah. I was singing really loud earlier with my mum in the other room. Just sat there singing, and she was getting really cross with me. She's like, "You can't sing." I'm like, "I don't care."
You do. You won't do karaoke.
Mother. No, I won't do karaoke because I don't want other people to hear. Dan's allowed to hear, my mum's allowed to hear, and the neighbours can hear. But you guys are different. I have a reputation to uphold.
Well, as an amazing singer who in secret can't really sing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dagan loves nature and elements, so I put some nature emojis. Oh, why does Dagan get a special hello and we don't? What the fuck, Jennifer? Share the fucking love, man. Disappointed in you.
I don't see a lot of the emojis and stuff on StreamYard. I
Open
just
your
get
eyes
this,
then.
no, I just get this kind of phone-shaped thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but they do show up.
You don't have
most of them on my phone.
The emojis.
So,
yeah, it means you don't have the emojis. You're not cool enough.
not cool enough.
But no, back to what I was saying with the whole getting rid of our human rights. A lot of people are saying we should lock them up with bare minimum, and I feel this way as well. Locking them up with bare minimum, like 24-hour isolation, because a terrorist isn't gonna change its ideas. I can't see a terrorist stopping being a terrorist. Like, once you've been indoctrinated into that system, surely you can't be changed. You know?
Yeah, because if you can be indoctrinated into something, you can be like reprogrammed to something else. Like everyone is programmable to some extent. I mean, there are some people that deny it and say, no, I'm programmable and stuff because I can see the truth.
Yeah.
No, but everyone.
Robot.
Everyone.
Robot.
It can.
Robot.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're all pixely though.
God damn it! Damn you, Wi-Fi! Fucking fight me!
So you're gonna pull your back
no, I
again,
can't do
mate.
that, actually. No, I really messed my back up yesterday.
You did. I saw the pain in your
Oh,
face. I'm not gonna lie. No, if you were Trig, I'd have wet myself. Honestly, I'd have pissed all over the floor. But because it was you, she felt really bad. Like, sorry, Trig, if you watch it. But Trig he shows pain in such a funny. I know how bad that sounds. Trig's our mutual friend that we know on Xbox, and he got hit by a car a few years ago, like 4 years ago. He was hit by this old woman, and he was on the pavement. He was a pedestrian. And it just makes me chuckle because of how he explains it. And I shouldn't laugh, and I love Trig to bits. He explains it. He's a Geordie, so he obviously sounds funny no matter what he says. And the way he talks about being hit by a car, and because he's completely over it, and because of how close we are, we're very good friends. It just absolutely cracks me up. But he had to take loads of shit, like steroids and shit, and he gained loads of weight, and now he gets cramp like all the time, and you'll be sitting there, we'll be playing Xbox, and then all of a sudden it's like, ah! And then there's just me howling in the background because he's screaming out in pain, and I'm just like, so yeah. But when it was D yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go check out D's COPPA stream yesterday on his I was about to say Instagram. It's not Instagram.
No, that singing was bad.
Okay, listen up until like 3 minutes before the end, and then just turn it off. But yeah, you'll find his channel. It's Eternal Padawan, and it's his most recent. You haven't streamed today, have you? No, but it was yesterday, around 18 hours ago, I'd say. So have a look. I've got. Do you know when you've got a random loose hair and you just can't find it, and like you look like you're trying to like summon a demon? Do you know what? No, he has no idea what I'm talking about. You guys? No. We have all been programmed, every one of us. Of course, no, we have, because we've been programmed by our parents to convey their ideologies and their beliefs and their way of thinking, their morals and everything.
And our friends, the TV, our teachers, and literally every single person we have interacted with, everything we've interacted with has added to our programming. Literally every single experience we've had is part of our programming.
Definitely. Even books that we read. I mean, I read a lot of John Grisham. I don't know how you feel about John Grisham, but I absolutely love John.
More of a Stephen King man myself, but.
Oh, okay. Well, so I find myself saying litigate for no reason. Like, just litigate. It's such a good word. Yes, it's litigate. And like loads of. I mean, I have a somewhat of a law background whereby I studied employment law at college. So I have this mad fascination with law. I absolutely love it, but at the same time, I genuinely hate it.
You just used to watch a load of Judge Judy. Don't fucking lie.
No, I don't like Judge Judy because Did you know that it's staged?
It's on television, of course it is. Like, I mean.
So they're real court cases, but the TV company actually pays the fine. So essentially, if you go in trying to get a claim for like £2, you're ridiculous. Because there's somebody who went in to try and get a claim for £150 for her laptop, whereas the max the court will give is 5,000. So they should have just been like, "Oh, it's a £5,000 laptop. Like, why go in with 100? Because all they're going to get is £150." But anyway, so what I love about law, I love the technical side of law. I love how courtrooms are supposed to work, and I love the fact that how it should work is great. Like, it is how it should work is great, but how it doesn't work is bad, because we're supposed to be judged by a jury of our peers, a jury of people who don't know us, don't know what's going on, listen to two sides of a story, but it's no longer about the person or the people, whether it's about the person, the defendant, or the victim. It's not about them anymore. It's about whether the prosecutor or the defense team are going to win and whether they're getting their paycheck. Like, they make the evidence seem more substantial than it is, and people end up getting sent away for things that they haven't done, or for longer than they should for things that they have done. And it's all about money now. It's no longer about justice. It's no longer about actually doing what's right for society.
See, I mean, I'm one of these unfortunate things that plan that way. Again, it's justice for the lower classes is what it is. Or it's not really justice. It's law for the lower classes. Because again, right now, with the amount of suspicion there is against Prince Andrew, he should have been arrested and questioned by the police surrounding.
Who's this? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Prince Andrew.
You went. Yeah, there we go. You went all fuzzy, and I didn't hear you.
Yeah, Prince Andrew should be questioned by the police. It doesn't matter whether it was some 17-year-old girl in America. There's also lots of accusations of other underage activities that went on. He needs to be questioned about this by the police, by the authorities. It's not going to happen. purely because they're above the law. And this is where the legal system fails. There should be not one single human being above the law. Because if there is one person above the law, it's not working. But at the same time, again, we've gone too far with the law. We really have. I mean, it's crazy now. So what are you going to do? System's there to be broken, and it's broke. I say, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's just a few little tweaks we need to do to the system. That's it. It wouldn't take a lot to sort the system out. And a lot of it would be gearing us away from the monetization of things, basically. Back to a less corporate way of life, a more individual, local way of life.
I do believe criminal law is very just. Civil law is so jacked up.
Sorry, that one. Got it. No, see, well, this is the problem. Criminal law, yeah. Do no harm, cause no loss, don't misrepresent. That is a great basis for a criminal law. Don't get me wrong. It pretty much covers everything anyway. You don't really need a civil law after that, because people should be self-responsible enough that if they wrong somebody or damage somebody's property or whatever, even if it was by accident, we should be in a position now where we're responsible enough to compensate that person without having to go through a fucking legal system to do it. But again, yeah, the civil law has been so messed up. Like I say, you can trip over in the street and sue somebody for it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The whole suing people as well. Dan's got a friend who he tries to sue the council all the time, doesn't he, love? Your friend that tries to sue the council.
Oh, Eric?
Yeah, well, I won't gonna. Yeah, if he heard, nobody's.
He heard his thumb in work and tried to say that loads of shit fell on it and that it snapped in half, and he tried to sue. He hurt his elbow when he was locked, and he fell over a curb, and now he's trying to sue to say that the curb was broken and it's government's fault. Just tries to get a claim.
Do you hear that?
yeah, it came through loud and clear. Yeah, no, there are people out there, like I say, that will abuse it, and that's one of the things I certainly did in the past. When I had a car accident, I abused it, and I ended up like having a good year and a half off work. This was back when I was still doing all the factory work, quite young 20s, and yeah, I got a nice little claim out of it. Like, what was it, £1,200 and stuff, like just for playing up a little bit on how much the damage had been done. I mean, I just had a little bit of whiplash. It wasn't that fucking bad, really, but played the system. So I've done it. Like I say, I mean, this was long before I woke up and stuff. And again, that's one of the things I'm going to have to atone for when my time comes.
So we've got somebody else. I'm not sure if that's a networker or not, but Nozil
Genevieve.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Genevieve's. Yeah.
And then Dagan's asking Uno, what does he mean by pikey? Does he mean traveller? I'm not too sure why you want to know if there's
pikey. Okay, can you understand pikey? I don't even know what the Don is saying. That's pikey.
Okay. Not too sure why he wants to know if there's any pikeys in the chat. Maybe he heard Dan's voice and got confused.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dan.
Oh, tea time. You need a little bell. Ding, ding, ding.
I do need it. We've got a sex bell, but we don't actually have a tea bell. I think I've shown you the sex bell, haven't you?
No, I haven't seen
this little red bell. Have you not seen it? I bought it in for Christmas last year. There's this little red bell and it says ring for sex.
I'm surprised it's not worn out by now.
Vegan, my friend. Hello, vegan. Or you. Not sure what that means. Like and share. Blender. Oh, you mean blended, not blender. Where's the blender? We're making a smoothie. Let's go. Let me a smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
I love smoothies. Smoothies are great.
A bit too sweet for me. I know that sounds crazy being a sweetaholic, but yeah, smoothies are even sweeter than sweets to me. I don't know.
So I can guarantee
I
you
like
got
a
a bag of
banana
buttons next
smoothie,
to you.
just banana with maybe a little bit of coconut oil or coconut milk in it. Yeah.
So my smoothie, my go-to smoothie, is banana with a spoon of natural peanut butter, like just peanut butter. It's got nothing else in it. And some cinnamon, like a teaspoon of cinnamon, and that does me a pint. I love cinnamon, but we all know that I'm like white trash, so love cinnamon and pumpkin spice and all that. So blended whiskey, talk to me about what whiskey. I like me some whiskey.
I know, so I'm not a whiskey drinker at all. No.
I love me some whiskey. See, me and my dad were talking about. So dad was saying that there's no difference between vodkas, and I'm like, there is a difference between vodkas. There's good vodkas, which are the vodkas that Cakes drinks. Third person, hi. And then there's the Smirnoff is just disgusting. I says there's definitely a difference. And then Dad was like, because obviously there's a difference between whiskies, depending on whether the hops have been like grown in peat, and you're gonna have different tastes depending on where you've sourced your ingredients and where everything's from. But I do love whiskey. Jimmy, don't climb on the laptop. Always scared the cat. Don't. Birds of the feather flock together. Stop, Cole. Oh fuck! Almost broke my cat.
So I've missed what that's in relation to. Sorry, Dagan.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Love the small batch crafted whiskey. Nice. 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 I'm going to use your laptop every week, babe. The chat's a lot bigger. I can see it better. I don't have to like.
That's what I said to you when you're using your phone at the start. Just use laptop.
No, I don't want to use. Maybe we'll see. Oh, you're in Texas. Nice. Nice. Cakes, I'm going to give the e-cig a shot. Fed up of spending on the cigs with cost and health implications involved with smoking.
If you're worried about your health, don't vape. Just quit.
Yeah, if you're worried about your health, don't smoke at all. Don't just quit, like Dan just said. I think this is safe because I understand the ingredients, but I can never be sure. How can I be 100% sure? I can't. And like Dee always calls me a guinea pig, and I'm personally fine with that. I don't have health implications. Nothing about my health is because of me smoking or vaping.
You sound very sure about yourself there, Cakes.
Right, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're trying to speak on a topic, you do the same thing, motherfucker.
I'm just taking my advantages, right? You know that. I like to have my little about vaping.
But no, I don't believe there's any health implications myself. But if you do already have health problems, I just would not advise to vape. I just quit smoking altogether. Just stop.
No,
because
Jen's
nicotine's not good for
you.
She
actually buys the cigarettes in packets that are already made and stuff, like the proper, proper chemical-filled ones. I know.
Like, I was about to say something. I've completely forgot what I was going to say. Nicotine. We all know nicotine's bad for you because nicotine is a stimulant. Same as caffeine is a stimulant. Caffeine is bad.
Well,
I drink it. I'm not a preacher here. I'm not God. I do these things. I drink coffee. I drink tea. But it's stimulant. It increases your heart rate. That can't be good.
Why do we have receptors for them then? If we weren't supposed to receive them, why is the body equipped with receptors for them?
Could it be because we need our adrenaline to go up and our heart rate to go up for running and so that we know that we're fucking human? I don't know, but I don't think that I don't think that a constant intake of nicotine is good for anybody. I can't be.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a constant
You know?
intake by any long stretch of imagination. No, I'm just saying that we've got receivers in our bodies for all these chemicals that affect us. So why have we got all these receivers if we're not supposed to be receiving those chemicals? And I'm not talking about volume of chemicals. Just generally, those chemicals are obviously meant for our system. Otherwise, we wouldn't have receivers in our system to receive them.
Interesting. I don't really. I hadn't thought about it. That being said, Jennifer, if you do want to vape, let me know how much you want to spend, and I'll tell you what to buy. What's better for you to buy? Like if that is what you're going to do, I'd rather advise you, because I do know quite a lot about vapes. I spent a lot of time in the vape shop. I spend a lot of time looking at stuff, and I understand Ohm's law. So I'd hate for you to buy something that was either going to break, or it was going to be shit, you weren't going to be using it, or make sure you're using the right equipment, because if you do use the wrong equipment, you can cause devices to explode.
Yeah.
So you do have to be careful.
And yeah, it's not as cheap as you think either, Jen. There are upkeeps to it. It's quite expensive to get started because you do want to spend out a lot on a decent rig, basically.
Let me walk you through how much mine costs.
I don't even know why I'm encouraging it in any way at all, to be fair. But.
So this is probably the cheapest model you would get. This is a Coolfire Mini. This goes up to 40 watts. So you can sub-ohm. Sub-ohm means less than 1 ohm, which is the resistance inside of the coil. So if I press the button on here, can you see that?
Yeah, we could. Well, you can see there's a shiny button.
There you go. Yeah. So 40 watts is what Dan's vaping at right now, because his coil, it should be vape between 55 and 65. This, I believe, cost £30. So that's probably the cheapest you're going to be looking at. This tank, this was mine. This cost £30. That's an expensive tank. You can get cheaper ones. Do you know where the little Nautilus is? Oh, that's a good idea.
No, I'm going to misuse my power now and just put all the negative comments about vaping up.
That's fine. There's a little red one and a little dark silver one. It should be in the middle somewhere. Because if you can't.
And like I said, and Jenna said you can always use Messenger to give her advice if you want.
This is an easier platform, I think. So Dan's looking for another tank that I used to use. It's called the Nautilus. No, it's a tank, that's coils. Nautilus 2 or Nautilus Mini, I can't remember. I don't worry about it. That was 20 quid. That's probably your cheapest tank you get. No, it was 30. They're now 20. That's the cheapest one you're going to get. That one, like I said, that was 30. And that's Dan's rig. He was using.
Is that pink? Reusable. He got pink fucking vape.
Dan said that Freddie said that pink's a girl's color. So to prove that pink's not a girl's color, Dan bought this.
Pink is a fucking girl's color. Dan, oh, you're
Shut up, you. They know the time is coming for smoking. Vaping is just a replacement. Vaping makes me cough. It doesn't make me cough more than I coughed. I cough less now than I did when I smoked. But like I've said on previous streams, and you've definitely been there. When I smoked, I essentially had child's lungs. So it's very difficult for me to compare, because I stopped smoking at 2019 when I fell pregnant with my son, and then I smoked kind of periodically for a little bit after I'd had my son. So and then this one is my setup. Okay.
So you don't have to read it out.
Yeah,
I'll just put it up on the screen.
Dan has hemp papers. So this is mine. This is the Drag box mod. This was £80 or £90. This is run with 2 Samsung 25R batteries.
So I better take it off so I can actually see. Go on.
This is now 2 years old, and it's only now breaking. This is Drag by Vupu. Fuck me, they are so good. Their tech is incredible, but my connection here is fucked. So it was on charge. It's been on charge for so long. Like I had it on charge for almost 2 full days.
Where was it?
It's just charging really slow because the connection's fucked.
Oh.
Yeah, and it didn't really charge. Then this tank is the Crown Whirl. This is £30. Here, babe, thank you. This is a 0.6 coil, and I run it at 20 watts, as you can see there. When it focuses, just believe me, it says 20. And the difference between mine and Dan's makes a massive cloud. Mine doesn't make as big a cloud. Like, D, you've seen me use that tank, and I fill the room, don't I? Like, he doesn't because he's a pussy, but I fill the fucking room with smoke. Well, with vapor. So those are those. So there's 80 or 90, I honestly can't remember, and then 30. And then every probably month I have to change. There's D's. Every month I have to change the coil. So I buy them in, these are packs of 4. So these are the coils here. It's not coming out of the box. There we go. Just them. And they get changed every month, and they're £15 for a pack of coils. So
Quitters. Fucking 40 years.
Quitters everywhere.
One. What the fuck, man? Come on. No, obviously, no.
Thanks,
good on you, bud. I hope it does you well.
Thank you. Yeah, well done, Juan. And so yeah, you're looking at a large starting cost, and it may seem quite daunting. But after the fact, you're not really spending all too much money. You're looking at £15 every 4 months. And then vape juice, depending on how much you vape, will depend on how much you spend, and you're looking at about £5 a week. So if you smoked a lot and you're not going to vape a lot, it's going to be cheaper. If you smoked a lot and you want to carry on vaping a lot, you know. To be fair though, my dad makes me these little bottle in there. My dad makes me 2 of those every year. And that lasts me the whole year. I do buy other ones. You want to get that
into a glass bottle.
It's fine. The nicotine like degrades a little bit, but honestly not a lot. Like, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, plastic storage is just not good. And I mean, it may be a BPA-free bottle or something, but I think there's still chemicals that can get leached from the plastic into the solution.
I agree. The damage has already been done. It's already going to be in there.
But the longer it's in there, the more it's leaching. I'm not preaching. I'm like, I've made my suggestion. Put it in a glass bottle.
Yeah. And yeah, Chris, like I say, this works for me. I feel healthier with vaping, but at the same time, I don't know the effects of how my body's going to be in 20 years. We don't know, because they've been out for, I think I said 13 years a few weeks ago. So I can't possibly know.
See, the first vaping technology I ever heard about was for parties. There was this little machine you could get, and it vaporized alcohol. So basically, you could sit it in the corner of a room, and you could vaporize the alcohol, and everyone would get in the room and get pissed. It was like a gimmicky thing for parties. That's pretty cool. That's the very first thing I ever came across when it come to vaping, and that was when I was a teenager. So
there used to be cartomizers, and they weren't very good, and you could taste. They tasted vile, and I remember them looking like cigarettes. You take the end off, like take the drip tip off the end of mine, and inside there they'd have a thick like filament. Like, it would get hot the same as the coil does, but it was very thick, and the cotton used to burn onto them, and there'd be cotton shoved down there, and they honestly they weren't very good. I vaped them because they were there more than anything. These ones, they're obviously a tightly wound coil, And Jen, if this is something that you're very interested in, I'd be more than happy to do a proper breakdown. You can join my chat if you really want. I can do it on Dan's laptop, and I could do a proper breakdown and go through everything more intricately and take my vape apart so you can see everything. If that was something that you're interested in, but I'd do that on my channel, not on our channel. There's nothing on there yet, but I'd link you to it on Facebook. And £40 a week is a lot of money. That's a lot.
There's
That is a
not
lot
for
of
smoking,
money.
to be fair, because like I say, from what I've seen, Jennifer smokes the cigarettes in a packet, and that they're like a tenner a packet, so that's only 4 packets a week.
That's 80 cigarettes a week, though. Is that not a lot? Although I used to smoke 20 a day, though, to be fair.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And
so yeah.
But again, I don't know. I mean, maybe she smokes roll-ups in between or something. Like I say, I've only ever seen her smoking the filtered ones, like. So.
Hello, P Mars. How's things? How are you doing?
Yo, Pete.
I know since my accident and sat around bored, unable to keep busy, I've become a chain smoker. I need to sort it out. I mean, back when I really smoked, it wasn't that expensive. And when I have bought tobacco, it's been because me and Dan have been going out.
I buy one of them a week, 30 grams of Cutter's Choice Extra Fine. It cost me, I think, £11.50. That's how much I buy every week.
Yeah.
I need. I don't, because like I said, I just use little balls. I don't actually smoke cigarettes. Right, so I just use a pea-sized ball with my palm. Yeah.
Like, how much would you say you spend a week on smoking, babe? Dan, how much do you spend a week on smoking? How much do you spend a week on smoking?
I smoke a lot. I don't think.
Well, what you're asking in that, P, is that real money you use when you're betting on poker? So I jumped in your chat earlier, but you didn't answer me. Sorry, that's right.
Yeah, P. How dare you? He said £15 a week. He thinks.
That's sometimes tobacco lasts a bit longer.
Yeah, sometimes because he only smokes at work. Because I complain.
Take like a fucking ashtray.
He does. It's all stinky. I don't like it. But to be fair, if we both go out, we go to a pub. If I'm drinking, I'll smoke.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. That's obvious you weren't reading chat. Don't worry about that. Well, I didn't feel offended at you not answering me. I'm just taking the opportunity now. I know you're there. Oh, so it's not actual. Well, you know what I mean. Are you using your own cash flow money, or is it money that the game has given you to use?
Is it legitimate currency?
It's just that I do a trading game that give me a 50,000 free account, and like I said, I've got that account up to 120,000 at the moment, and loving it. So I'm thinking when I've got like a spare grand, if I ever get a spare grand, I might stick it in and see if I can double that, triple that, whatever. Because it's taken me a month to do it so far to double my money. So. And it's just the only thing I was going to suggest is if it's P's real money, P Mars, if it's your real money, I'd suggest looking into trading yourself, because with poker, you're never going to really get a better chance than you get with the trading. Because when you're trading, you're doing a 50-50 bet every time you make a trade, whether you're buying or selling. You're making a 50-50 bet, basically. So you're getting pretty much one of the best odds you'll ever get in gambling. So, and again, that's not financial advice for anyone. Just my general opinion on the gambling side of things. If I was going to go anywhere, I'd go for the trading. It's
money you can withdraw and spend in real life.
So yeah, it is then currency. Yeah, I'd suggest moving some of that over when you got the cash, mate, to the trading. Better odds. That's all. I don't know whether. Obviously, it's risky. It is a risk, but so is playing poker, mate. So And again, it's not. I'm
And
not giving you financial advice. I'm advising you go and look into this, mate. Look into it for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to start. Sorry, Cakes. Go on. Yeah. So fuck it. You talked about vaping for fucking ages.
I was just gonna say, Juan, if you have any advice for Jen, drop it in the chat. I'm sure she'd appreciate it. P, I'm one of the best in poker in the world, though.
Yeah, I'd love to play him one day. I would. Yeah, no, I would like maybe get a load of us together, P. Like, so like if you're a familiar face, maybe if Jed will play, maybe get like 5, 6 of us around, and yeah, we'd just have a poker night, maybe stream it if you want. I mean, I don't know how that'd work.
Well, P, do you have an Xbox? Because there's prominent poker on Xbox.
He's a PC player, I think.
I could download it on a PC. It's free to play. So if he's not got an Xbox, like, I'd be down to play him. But we've got no way of streaming it without one of us looking at the.
Well, no, I'm just wondering
stream.
if there's a spectator mode where you just spectate the game as it goes.
Oh, that's true.
You never know if these apps and stuff nowadays.
Actually, I think
I don't know what a
Poker
CPA is either. P, sorry, mate.
I have a PS4 too. No, Cole, get down. Yeah. Only advice I can give, Cakes, is just do it. Just do it. Cool. I haven't played poker properly in fucking years. We used to go around to my dad's house all the time. Bravada poker. That's what he plays on. But yeah, I used to go around to my dad's house every Monday and we'd play poker. It's great.
Yeah, I used to do it for my mates 20 years ago, but only lasted a couple of years. And that was Texas Hold'em. I kind of prefer 5-card stud personally, but certified personal. Right, okay. So yeah, he does it right. I get you. Cool. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean it's awesome, people. I advise getting in, like having a look at it for yourself. Not necessarily, I'm not, like I say, not giving financial advice, but it's a fun thing to actually do. Like I say, I can't wait to get some real money in on it, and yeah, because I've got the time to sit down and do all the mini little, like every few minutes, make a buy, make a sale, that kind of thing. So I can put the time into it, so I can make little gains here and there. But yeah, it's good stuff. I use Trade-in 212. It's a mobile app. You can get it on your phone, and like I said, they give you a 50,000 free fake account so you can get used to it, and then whenever you feel comfortable, you can just jump in with your real money.
Pretty cool. So I have exciting news. I'll go back to work tomorrow.
Hey!
Hey.
So your chest's getting better then.
It's not great. I'm not gonna lie, it's not great. It really still hurts, but I can't keep sitting here. I'm bored. Oh, yeah. I want to go back.
Yeah, but at the same time, obviously don't.
I'm not going to overdo it
because in the long run that will mess you up even more. But
exactly, I'm gonna talk to the guys and be like, look, I want to come back, but I can't be lifting stuff. I can't really be bending over, and crouching down and stuff. So yeah. I tried PokerStars, but it was a horrible app. I used to play on PokerStars. I used to play on Zynga back when Zynga was a thing, back like 15 years ago, 10 years ago. How old am I?
I just don't
10 years ago.
I don't like playing random people on the internet, basically, because there are too many idiots that don't play like they'd play in real life, if you get me. Right, because a lot of them on these sites, you're playing with fake money a lot of the time. I know PokerStars is a real money site as well, but I mean, it doesn't seem as real when you're on the computer. Whereas when you sat down, money. I've never played with chips. We always played for like little monies, like, you know what I mean, the change, twos, ones, twos, fives, tens.
Yeah, we used to play with chips. So I've never actually played with real money. And on Zynga, I met quite a few cool people that I really liked. And I used to play with my dad and my dad's friend. And and then we kind of, my dad and his friend met some people on there, met some people on there, and I met some people, and then we all just used to meet up at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon if we weren't at work, and we just play. And I loved it. Will your family like their Christmas presents with the Queen face on them? They may think you are a royalist, D.
Certainly not a royalist. No, sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. I've got silver coins for everyone. Unfortunately, it's what it is. It's basically if it's currency, if it's like got a face value of it of the currency you can use in a shop, it's capital gains tax free. So yeah, that's the reason I've gone for those type of coins. There are other coins I prefer the designs of and stuff, but that's just for me for now.
Fake money poker isn't the same as poker. You need money or there is no game really. I've still always enjoyed playing for no money. I've still enjoyed
I agree
just
fully there.
for playing.
Yeah, you need money or there is no game when it comes to poker, because people just treat it like Monopoly. It's not the same. It's really not the same. When your real money's there, it's skill. When it's fake money there, it's luck. A lot of the time, it's weird how it plays. But yeah, I've never got on with any of the free poker apps. So.
See, but when I played in real life with people sat around an actual table and there was no money there, it still felt like a real game. We still played to. You just played to win. You didn't play to win money, but you played to win. But I've never really been much of a bettor or a gambler or anything. I'm not. Like, I've never really bought many scratch cards, and I know that's just look based, but I know you like a scratchy.
Oh wait, no, I haven't yet, P. Let me do that right now.
I love where you work, Cakes. I'll be visiting our branch this week for some gorgeous, good quality Christmas cards. We don't sell Christmas cards.
What you do now?
I don't sell Christmas cards.
There we go, guys. Links in the chat for anyone who wants to join and have their say. I won't bother putting a banner and stuff up about it because, yeah. But...
you just can see it. We're all, pretty much everybody who's watching is typing in the chat, so you can all hear. You're all there. But no, yeah, no, we sell good presents, but we don't sell. I actually don't know any of the Christmas stuff, like, because I haven't been there.
Yeah,
my brain's
just there for the
everything's fallen out. Yeah, well, I did the visual merchandising and I VM'd. I was there for that, but I honestly can't remember half of the ingredients, half of the stuff, which is really bad because that is part of my job. But I'm gonna ask for some training tomorrow, and hopefully spend most of the day training, because most of when we advise people, we advise based on our knowledge of the product, not just on what we think smells good. Sorry, hiccups. So I panicked for a second, then I was like, is Jamie gonna like that?
Well, to be fair, actually, Jen, it might be worth getting him one of those beard clippers so he can still have length to his beard, but he can keep it tidy, because those scissors when he was trying to do it the other day, that looked a pain in the neck. Maybe a nice easy way he can just set it to a nice long length, so he's still got his length, and boom, 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 done.
If you want any advice on products, then message me. I don't particularly like giving advice on this platform, just because, like, in terms of Lush products, it's just not great. I have organic cotton, if that helps. That makes you feel better.
Yeah, but
for my vape.
See, I can't. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't cotton not be organic like everything else they grow? Sorry, yeah, no, I just had I was just kind of thinking like, surely all cotton's organic. It's grown in the ground, but then I thought of all the foods that we eat that aren't organic. And sorry, yeah,
Well done. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it reminds P he's got to trim his beard up.
Nice.
It was getting a bit, yeah, he was getting a bit Brian Blessed like beardy with it, like.
So in the next couple of weeks, I might put my dreadlocks back in, which you've seen my dreadlocks, but you guys haven't seen my dreadlocks. So I'll look a tad bit different in the next couple of weeks. Probably won't be this week that I do it. Probably the week after.
Soldier, dread like a Rasta.
If I can, then I'll be popping on Jed's stream on Saturday with them. If I get them in this week, I'll be enlisting Dan's help and support. Oblivious. Organic is just a scam to charge more. I don't think it is.
No, it is. It's a massive scam just to charge more.
No.
Not being funny. Let's say when I was a kid, everything was organic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't labelled as organic. It was just that's how it was.
That's how it was. Yeah.
All of a sudden in the 80s, bosh, you had this big push, processed food began to come in from all over the world, and blah blah blah, and pesticides used everywhere, and then all of a sudden this organic label came in, and like you've said before, the legal requirements of calling something organic are ridiculous. So how can it down?
Robot. But it is a scam to make more money, but organic isn't a scam. Organic is inherently better for you. Surely it's better to have food that's not had chemicals on it. That's what I was that's what I was getting at when I was like, no, it's not. But when I say that, I mean stuff that you have grown yourself, because how can you ever trust if something is organic? I don't think you can.
See, like I said, I've worked over to Pick Your Own, literally just across where the farm shop is, and a lot of their stuff comes from the Pick Your Own itself, and a lot of the rest of it's locally sourced. And I don't see the tractors going around spraying pesticides everywhere and that kind of stuff. You just don't see it. Oh, P's here now, so let me just start him in. Yo,
hey.
Pete.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I read with the organic thing that they still get pesticides and all that, but the difference is they stop spraying pesticides like a month before they pick it or something like that. So I guess you're getting like slightly less chemical. It's basically the same shit, and that's what I'm with, like agreeance with D.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, well, if I just label this organic, the same thing organic, and then I can charge them X amount more money, and these idiots will pay for it. And they, it's like that classic story with this guy. He's selling jars, right? And one of his customers notices, like, hey, you're charging $20 for this jar, but this jar is only $10, and they look exactly like the same jar. And the guy said to him, well, some people like to spend $10 for a jar, and some people like to spend $20 for a jar. And I serve both customers. Like, there's this thing where, like, people think if they spend more money on a product, they'll just be getting a better product. Like, they've done psychological tests where they have this buffet, and they had the same exact buffet, but, like, they charge one group $2 for the buffet, and then they charge the other group $10 for the buffet, same food. The group that paid more money would give it better ratings and better quality in the reviews because the people that paid less, they think they're buying like a crappy thing.
I can see how that would work though, because I am definitely a fool for that. If I see something, I try and go for the middle ground price thing, so it's very rare that I will buy the value stuff or the cheapest stuff, but I will never buy the most expensive one.
I will always go for the value brand stuff and try it out. It's like sometimes the value brand sucks, but then sometimes I like the off-brand stuff more than the main brand stuff. So, I guess it's like dependent, but yeah, usually I'll go for like whatever's. I'm kind of a miser, I guess.
But that's what I was saying just before you joined the stream there, that I don't think anything is organic unless you've grown it yourself, because you can't know. Dee just said that you don't see them spraying stuff, but are you looking at them 24/7?
Well, no, like I said, I did work there as well, so at least I know back when. I mean, this was well after like processed food had come well in and everything. Like, and yeah, they just didn't use pesticides back then. What he used to do was cover it in plastic, basically burn a hole in it in the ground, and the plastic would keep the weeds and most of the bugs and stuff away, basically. And it was a nice little setup anyway. But I never saw any pesticides used when I was worked there, so I assume they carry on that way.
There's certain foods that are better for you too. Like cauliflower has like a protective shell over it that gets sprayed, and then they peel that off, so you don't actually eat the stuff that's getting sprayed. So there's foods like that too, where it's like it doesn't really matter if they're organic or they're not organic, because the thing that you're eating is not getting sprayed on. But yeah, I think it's just a scam to charge more money for the same fucking thing. That's what I think's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of things which charge you for the same fucking thing.
It is, and it's the same in the pharmaceuticals business as well. Like, the more they charge for drugs, the more people think they work. So that's why in countries where they charge for drugs, they charge a lot. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I know it has lots to do with patents and stuff as well. They got to make their money before patents run out and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I don't have any earbuds or anything in, Jan. It's just the laptop picking me up.
It's a good laptop. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I agree. I don't have anything to add to that because I agree. I do think there is some merit in some organic things, but you look at organic free range eggs, for example. You think that they're going to be great. They're exactly the fucking same. They're exactly the same. People have gone to organic farms and been like, look, they're treated the same. Their beaks are still cut and all the rest of it. Whether you're for this industry or not, like, I don't care to debate on that. It's irrelevant to me. But we're being fucking conned constantly, like every day. No matter what we do, we're being conned with, you need this, you need that. Well, we don't. We're this mad consumer-based society. Yay.
Yeah, I think food is one of the first things that sort of woke me up to there's like not something quite right with the world and society. I would think if we were just like a naturally evolved group or society of humans, that our life would revolve around good, healthy food. But we like surround ourselves with all these like fast food and crap and stuff, and just seems like really unnatural and not the way normally humans would have operated if they had a choice to it or something. It's like food is a weapon used on us or whatever.
That is kind of the point, isn't it? We don't have a choice anymore. It's not like we can just go out and hunt for our food anymore because the land's all owned by somebody, and that's pretty much forced to consume. Yeah.
If you're working 8 hours a day and you have children and stuff, you don't have time a lot of days to cook all your own meals, and especially like lunch hours. It's like you're kind of forced to eat this fast food, crap food. A lot of people. Or like processed.
I mean, when we were talking in Jamie's chat a couple of days ago, and I was saying I'm really proud. I've just eaten up until this week where I haven't eaten good at all. I've not really eaten much, to be perfectly honest. Yesterday I didn't eat until the evening. Most days I've not eaten until the evening. But But up until then, I was eating completely fresh ingredients. And I was saying to Dia, and I can't remember if I was saying on our stream, or if I was saying on just one of our normal video chats in the week, but my shopping bill has gone up by 40 quid. Like, I was telling Trig. I was telling our friend Trig.
So that's not something I've heard.
Yeah, I weren't telling you. I was telling Trig because I had spent ages formulating menus for the house because I write. You know how organised I am.
Yes.
Every day,
Takes like it's a list.
what.
I've even written a list where we've been going.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just for all the topics we've kind of covered. That's all. So
amazing. So Dino's. Every day the meals are planned, what gets eaten gets planned, and everything gets written down, and I do a shopping list each week, and I'd got it down to between 35 and 45 pound a week, and I was doing really good, and that's for 3 people, 35-45 pound a week. And I was all, eating vegan's not expensive, it's not expensive, and that's because I was eating processed fake meat. A bag of processed fake meat would do us a day and a half or a day and a bit. We'd use 2/3 of a bag each day, and that cost £1.50, and then you just add some tomatoes and it's done. It's cooked. You've got a spaghetti bolognese. But now my spaghetti bolognese is costing us like £9, £9, because everything is fresh. I'm using fresh mushrooms. And all of the ingredients are fresh, and they're not organic ingredients, they're just normal ingredients that you buy in the shop, but nothing is frozen. I'm not really using much cupboard stuff other than herbs, but I'm gonna be growing fresh herbs out in the garden because that's going to be cheaper. And pasta and rice are the only other, and lentils are the only other like cupboard ingredients, and our shopping bill is now £80 a week.
But is it going to be that consistently, do you think? Or is this just because you're buying in a few of the base ingredients and that kind of thing?
No,
I think just because you're buying fresh.
So I think that I'll probably get it down to about 65 as the average, assuming I don't have to buy things like balsamic vinegar, red wine vinegar, and all of the fancy shit that you put in fresh cooking to make fresh cooking taste yummy without all of the preservatives and crap. So I think it will go down a little bit, but I don't think it will go down. I don't think I'll be able to get it back down to 40 quid. I just don't. I don't think that will be possible. I've asked my dad for some herb and gardening books and veg growing books for Christmas, because you know me, I'm a book person. I really do struggle to intake information when it's on my phone, and
I think a lot of people do, to be fair, and I think that's why like people seem dumbed down now, because it's hard to intake information from these devices. So
and I mean, I've got my recipe books. I don't have apps with, and my mom's the same. If she finds a recipe, she will write it on paper from her screen. She won't just screenshot it. She'll either write it or print it off. Now that we've got the printer, she's more inclined to print off the recipe, but I much prefer a paper copy. And if ever I find a recipe online, I always write it down, because even though I know it's going to be on my phone, but I have an actual paper diary. I don't know where the fuck it is. It's upstairs because I was doing a shopping list. But I have a paper diary, and the amount of notebooks, there's a notebook here. You've seen this notebook. You guys have seen that one. I think I've got 4 notebooks on the go at the moment, because everything has to be written down. So yeah, I've asked him for gardening books. That was what I was going to say. My dad was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, honestly, I want to garden. I want to grow my own veg, because I think that will be cheaper. Let's catch up here. Are you giving them stamps then, D?
No. And is the Queen 93 too old to ride a horse? No. She should definitely ride a horse. It should be a big, fast horse. Yeah, honestly, she would have a ball. Honestly, get the Queen on the fastest horse we can possibly find. P, sorry, well, we're on healthy eating. How is your healthy eating?
P, how are you getting on?
Pretty good. I just made like spaghetti just now today. Yeah, I've been. I was trying to like not to stay to like 2,000 calories a day, but I only maintained that for about 3 weeks, and but
How many calories are you on now, roughly?
I haven't been really keeping track. I've just been eating kind of like a
Okay.
pig, and then but still doing my exercises. I started doing some free weights yesterday, along with doing the push-ups and pull-ups. So got a pretty good workout.
So I was telling you that I was having 1,600 calories. Jamie was like, "That's not enough. You'll die." And I was like, "Jamie, calm down. I don't do anything in the day. I'm at home sick. Okay, 1,600 calories is enough." Like when Dan comes home, I'm like, "What have you eaten?"
That's not even that. That's like a normal person, a normal male. I think maybe women are a little bit less, but males is like 2,000.
No, normal. It's supposed to be 2,000 for women, 2,500 for men.
Yeah.
But that's a very broad terms, and
Right. So like 1,600. He's acting like 1,600 is not that much. I mean, that's a good amount. I don't know.
Yeah, and
I got
I'm
these
saying
new
that
scales from Lidl the other day for $9.99, and they do all the body calibration and everything. So they tell you how much body fat you got, how much bone density, muscle, how much water, and how many calories you should be eating a day. And like I say, I'm completely shocked. I thought I was 64 kilos. I'm only 60.6 kilos, and it advises I eat 2,530 odd calories a day. So yeah, I should be eating a hell of a lot more than I am. But
let me just catch up here. So Jen's put, "I live a very basic lifestyle apart from my cigarettes. Lol. I spend very little on food and happy just to exist without the fancy things in life. I mend clothes, etc." Come back to clothes in a minute because Dan said something very interesting. But are you eating healthy or do you just eat garbage? Because that was my main point a minute ago, was that garbage food, like processed food, like a bag of chips is so cheap compared to an actual bag of potatoes that weighs the same. How are the chips cheaper than the fucking bag of potatoes?
I don't see that comparison, to be fair. A sack of potatoes for me would cost what, £3.50. I could make enough chips to fill up a freezer with that amount. And you go out and buy a bag of chips and sorry, Pete, go on.
Is £1.25, and a bag of potatoes is a 2 kilogram bag of potatoes is £2.50.
Oh
Yeah, but there's certain things. I think like a bag of chips would be the equivalent of maybe like 2 or 3 apples. Like apples can. I bought like $7 worth of apples today. I only got like 7
we're
apples.
talking fries here. Sorry, not. Yeah.
There's some. I don't know. There's something.
Just to clear it up for the Yanks.
Yeah, but you're right. Like I think potatoes. You could probably get a bunch of potatoes pretty cheap, and then just make your own potato chips or crisps. That'd be better.
Yeah, crisps or fries. Yeah. I mean, you can, and it really is easy. Just a little bit of oil, a little bit of flavoring for the crisps, as we would call them, or chips in America, or again, just chop them up. It's just worth parboiling them a little bit first before you put them in the oil. I find it just makes a more crispier chip, personally. And add your own condiments to them, but.
So Madame Medusa says, "Cakes, have you got an Asian retailer? The spices are so much cheaper in there and come in big bags." Yes. So I go to, if you're in a supermarket, don't go to the herb section, go to the world food section, because they'll be cheaper in the world section than they, like, you can get do you know the Schwartz fucking,
yeah, I know, like, the little glass container you mean, the little,
right? Glass container of cardamom pods was £2, but then I went and got a bag that was a bigger bag of cardamom pods rather, that was a lot cheaper than the fucking in the world food section. And then Jen's put, "I'd love to start growing herbs. Cakes, great idea of something I could start. I still keep recipes my ex's mum wrote down for me, really yummy soups and bakes." Yeah, do it. Chris says, "Well done, P. Well done, P. Reiterate that. Are you getting any Grinch items for Christmas? I'm not too sure what constitutes a Grinch item for Christmas." Chris says, I'm quite light. My BMR is actually about 1,600 calories, but that's base, not including activity. I actually need about 3,000 or more if I'm busy. So this is what I was saying in Jamie's chat the other day, that I'm having 1,600 calories because the internet, I did a few different things on the internet and checked out how much for my height and my weight would I burn by not doing anything. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Oh, that hurt my back,
apparently
but it was worth it.
by doing nothing, I would burn 1,700 calories because of my size and weight in a day where I don't really do anything but sit, make tea, go to the toilet, cook. That's how much I would burn. So I decided 1,600 seems like a good number for me to lose weight. So I try and aim for 1,600 at the moment. When I go back to work, it will be a little bit more. We'll see how I get on though. When you get your hair done, can you do an industrial dance for us? No.
Sorry. No.
Go on, P. Carry on, mate.
You know what's crazy is so my mom and my dad, they weren't the healthiest eaters, and my mom kind of didn't care what I ate, and I ate a lot of like sweets and stuff when I was growing up. I was a fat kid, and I didn't learn anything about the whole caloric intake until 9th grade health class, I remember. So like I just think that's crazy that I didn't even like, so many people are ignorant about eating and they don't know anything about nutrition and health. And as soon as I learned that about calories, I just started reducing my calories, and I lost a bunch of weight after 9th grade health class into 10th grade. And then it's funny because, you know, I got made fun of for being overweight, right? And then when I lost the weight, they just made fun of me for that, and I got called anorexic and stuff. So it's like you can't win, but
you can't win, P.
I think it's crazy though that like I was ignorant up until 9th grade health class, but I didn't know anything about calories or how to lose weight. You know, like no one told me that. For that, I lived that long before someone fucking told me that shit.
No, it is, because I gotta say, it wasn't something that came into my consciousness probably well into my teens about calories and stuff. And yeah, I mean, Infinite Loops Lawson, how do they measure a calorie? Just curious. They literally set food on fire and see how long and how bright it burns for.
That's essentially what your body does. Did you know that? Your body.
Yeah.
Well, it is just a conversion of energy. And hello, Infinite Loops. How you doing?
Exactly. Yes, how you doing there, bud?
I don't know what I'm going to get for Christmas, madame. I don't know. I'll show you guys. We checked to see whether this stream would coincide with Christmas, because I was like, do people want to watch us on Christmas Day? I'm not sure. And it doesn't. Don't worry. You don't have to like ruin your Christmas sex fest to listen to us, guys. Chris, lol, I actually live literally 4 days away from a small non-chain pound shop.
Doors.
I live right on the edge of a town centre. What did I say?
Days. It's like, you know, yeah. So Jennifer's living on the moon, obviously. All right, Muttley, fucking hell.
What I was gonna say is that like that's like Dastardly and Muttley. Is that what it is? Yeah, she laughs like Muttley. It's fucking funny.
Oh my god.
Okay. Have you heard of the chair challenge?
No. Tell me. What's the chair challenge?
It wasn't even that funny. You said days instead of doors.
I'm a professional. Calm down. Right. No, it's fine. I've composed myself. I've run out of tea.
Dano.
Hey, Mogdano. He's doing some. I don't know what he's doing, but so do I, madam. What's the chair challenge? You've piqued my curiosity. I'm excited. Is she on about musical chairs? I do like musical chairs. Could you tell? Oh, it's just me now.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I know. The musical bumps. Musical statues.
I used to love playing all them as a
put
kid.
on laugh.
That was good party games, that was.
Apparently it's a fake put on laugh according to NZD 20.00. You were wrong.
Yeah, if only it was. Literally, yeah.
Bedtime for me, folks. Great hangout. I'll see you next time. All right, Juan.
Cheers, Juan.
Have a good one. Right, women can do it. Men can't. I haven't done it. Google it. Okay.
Was that turn a chair upside down and see how many women you can fit on it?
Chair challenge explained. The chair challenge is taking over TikTok. There's a video. All right, no, let's just popbuzz.com. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I have seen this. I have seen this on TikTok, actually, because obviously I watch TikTok because I'm 27. It's designed for, like, 12-year-olds. But it's where a woman, where you put your feet against the skirting board and then take 2 steps back, like foot to foot, 2 steps back, slide a stool or a chair underneath you, lean forward and pick up the chair. And apparently at that distance, no, you have to put your head against the wall, put the chair on your stomach and lean back and pick up the chair. And apparently men can't do it, but women can, apparently. Yeah.
I'd have to see it. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a visual person. I'd have to see that being done. The explanation did no justice.
I'll find one on TikTok. I will find one on TikTok and I will send it you later. I'll have a look and I'll send it you. I can't.
Don't send me some little kid doing it though.
I won't. I'll find an adult.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch a night stream tonight. It's a truth channel, but it's like a zillion shades of crazy. But my friend Natalie, who hosts it, so cool. She streams real late, called Looking for Truth. Okay.
Jamie, send me a link on Messenger and I'll put the link in the chat, mate.
But yeah, no, I had heard of that. I'll test me and Dan with it.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Well, he's a girl anyway. Fucking running around making you tea.
I am no more lies. D isn't, and P Mars can't. Because he's not English or living in England. And Dan is.
I don't believe in voting. I think we should not vote. Because I think the whole political thing is like a joke. Like politicians don't have any real power. They just do what their bosses tell them anyways.
Yeah, exactly. The shadow government's in charge, so what's the point?
The democracy is just a farce. They use their propaganda to like brainwash people to vote the way they want them to vote. So I was reading Carl Jung lately, and he talks about how like the individual is more important than the group, and he talks about like the mass man versus the individual. That was pretty interesting because I think we're kind of getting programmed to think that the group and the community is more important than the individual, but I think the truth is the other way. It's totally opposite to that. I got this quote here. Can I read this quote?
Yeah, no, feel free.
It's from the book. He says, 1,000,000 zeros joined together do not, unfortunately, add up to one. Ultimately, everything depends on the quality of the individual, but the fatally short-sighted habit of our age is to think only in terms of large numbers and mass organizations. Though one would think that the world had seen more than enough of what a well-disciplined mob can do in the hands of a single madman. Unfortunately, this realization does not seem to have penetrated very far, and our blindness in this respect is extremely dangerous. People go on blithely organizing and believing in the sovereign remedy of mass action without the least consciousness of the fact that the most powerful organizations can be maintained only by the greatest ruthlessness of their leaders and the cheapest of slogans. I thought that was pretty brilliant. And I think that's kind of important for the social media age where people become obsessed with the mass mindedness, like the how many numbers and how many viewers and all that stuff. And he's saying that like it doesn't matter how many viewers and numbers and all this stuff you have, that the individual is more important. So if you only have like 5 viewers, but you can like reach them as an individual basis and they're individuals and you're not just forming this mass groupthink echo chamber, that's like far more value than these big channels where everyone thinks the same and to form the echo chamber and all that stuff is.
Yeah, and from that perspective, I'd certainly agree with it for sure. From the perspective you just outlined there, P. But...
And that's the kind of thing with me and you, is that we often have very opposing opinions, D. And I don't think we are an echo chamber, and I don't think our channel will ever become an echo chamber. I still think that me and you will have our own individual opinions, and we don't appeal to the masses. We and I don't think we.
Yeah, no, it's lucky we have viewers of the highest caliber, isn't it, Cakes?
Yep, P. I'm joking. I jest. Yeah, you see the big channels, and everybody in the comments are all saying the same thing, and so often I have people in the comments disagreeing with me or disagreeing with D, disagreeing with both of us, and that's great. Like, it inspires conversation, and I absolutely love it, and it creates a dialogue where we can actually discuss things as opposed to just agreeing with things. And I understand the hypocrisy in that statement, whereby I am agreeing with what you're saying, but that's the beauty of a lot of channels that are similar to ours, is we have the capability to agree with each other on some things, but we also have, I want to say, the strength to say to each other, no, I don't agree with what you've just said. And we say that to the people that are commenting on our channel, like, I don't agree with that, I don't think that's right,
Sorry, I've just got to respond to No More Lies. No More Lies says it's a shame that more people don't vote. How will things ever change if you don't have your say? And I would answer that with, it's a shame that more people, or so many people, do vote, because things haven't really changed and we've been having our say.
I don't think we have a say. I'm voting for Corbyn. I don't hide that. I am voting, and I'm voting for Labour.
What?
What? Is she?
What?
What do you mean, bah? What? Do you behave, you, right? And I said last week or the week before that I'm voting because I haven't seen a true Labour government in my lifetime. Do you know what? Shut the fuck up, you. I haven't seen a true Labour government in my. I can't take you serious. I'm just going to cover your face. I haven't seen a true Labour government in my lifetime, and I want to. I want to see if anything changes, and if nothing changes, I won't be voting then. Because I'm a lot younger than D, and I'm a lot younger than D, and I'm a lot younger than quite a few of our viewers. So for me, I haven't had the opportunity to see Labour fail, whereas D would have had the opportunity to see Labour fail, and I don't want to see Labour fail. Of course I don't. I'm not saying that. I really do believe in Corbyn, and I believe in the things that that I've seen and the things that I've heard, and I trust him. And I know it's not great to put your trust in a politician. I know that's not wise, but I trust him to be different to others, and his standpoint hasn't changed for 40 years. And you can look back at all of his votes, and I have done, and I agree with most of his votes.
Why has he given in to this fucking Israeli demand about the definition of anti-Semitism and stuff? Like, he's bowed to it. Like, I mean, and at the moment they're rooting out all these anti-Semitists in the Labour Party and all this kind of stuff. And you really think he hasn't bowed?
The German politician too just gave a speech about all the anti-Semitism
Merkel.
And making hate speech illegal and all that.
Oh, I think that any kind of hate speech is wrong. I think that if you are out to hurt somebody based on somebody's ethnicity, upbringing, background, I don't think that that's right. And yeah, that I wanted to just quickly mention that it is disagreements are. Me and Dee disagree so often, but neither of us argue, and I love that about us.
But to be fair, also, disagreements are more fun when done impolitely, and I think P would agree with me there.
Yeah, they are, but I think I don't think we give a platform for them to we give a platform for people to educationally put up their opinion, as opposed to.
I ain't banning anyone. They can say what they want.
Yeah, no, but I don't think people come here to attack our opinions. I think people come here to express their opinions, and most people express their opinions in a polite way, which
we
I
get so lucky. It's amazing.
Yeah, we do.
I mean,
and this might bring in trolls. To be perfectly honest, I actually don't care if it does. But me and Dee were talking the other day, and it was after Jamie had loads of trolls in his stream. It was before our stream last week, and me and Dee were having our little pre stream chat, and we were saying we don't get many people trolling in our comments. We don't. And I have this outward appearance which is quite trollable. I mean, people at the start trolled my weight, and people didn't troll my hair, but Madame mentioned my hair and my appearance, and that's what I was chuckling at. Yeah.
Some people say trolls.
Sorry,
some people say trolls are created, not born. So when you see people getting trolled heavily, a lot of times the person might just be an asshole and kind of deserve it.
Yeah, no,
and not even necessarily an asshole, but it's people's reactions as well. I mean, when people say things to me, I really don't care. I say this all the time. You're a person on the internet. Your opinion's not going to affect me. I'm not going to go upstairs and cry on Dan's lap because you've called me fat. And I don't think P would. And I was having a joke with P quite a few weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, well, P's fatter than me and all this. I hope P saw that as satire, because I wasn't trying to attack him. And P didn't. P fucking showed me. P was like, really? Shirt comes off, and I was like, fucking power to you, P. I was like, mate, I ain't doing that. And I think because people see the humility in both of us, you know that I make a joke of myself. I take the piss out of Dee, takes the piss out of me. I don't think we give this whole come and troll us kind of thing. I mean, you can if you want. I honestly find it quite amusing. But so when you say we got quite lucky, I don't see it as bad luck or good luck, because when we first started, everybody that was your friends kind of tried to test the water with me, especially to see how I would react. Jed definitely tested me to see how I would react, and I was just laughing at him. I was just like,
Jed tests everyone all the time,
right? And I think he was quite impressed with how even though I appear quite snowflakey and quite fragile, I was the exact opposite of that. But yeah,
Go on, P. Sorry, P just tried cutting in there.
Yeah,
No, I was
sorry,
just
P.
just agreeing when you said Judd tests people all the time. It's like never ending with him, pretty much.
For you, it is. For you, not with me. Doesn't. I don't think.
No,
he
it
tries
is.
to
No,
te-
literally, it's everyone constantly. Don't like.
See, I
I
don't.
mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
I don't see
Jed's
it.
awesome, but not even. But
I'm a fucking peach.
and he tests people.
NZ20.00.
Jed just
I'm the
endlessly gives
Messiah.
everyone shit all the time. Like he never stops. At least what I've noticed.
Yeah, no, either I don't notice it with me, or he just doesn't. I'm not too sure. But even if he did, it really wouldn't affect me. It wouldn't. It doesn't bother me. I'm not a sensitive little China cup. Speaking of China cups, so you know what I'd been waiting for ages, babe. Dan, can you pass me my tea?
Not right now.
I can't reach it.
You just wait, NZD. You just wait.
I am pleasant. I said I was the Messiah.
No, you're not. You're a very naughty gal.
Bring out your dad. Right, I'm gonna reach it for myself. I just don't want to pull any of the wires off. Oh, I'm dying. Is that the one? That's not even. Oh, I'll show that one anyway. It's fine. Oh, it is the one. Look what finally came.
Oh yeah, your advent calendar.
My advent calendar finally came. So much tea.
How old are you?
6. I have 3 advent calendars. My mama bought me a chocolate one as well, which I'm not too sure why, because I don't really eat that much chocolate. I know it appears like I do, but I don't really eat that much chocolate, and so I'm not too sure why. But it's cute. Sorry, I've got to reposition my butt.
Well, that's. I mean, to be fair, it's gone 11 now, so I'm happy to wrap up any time. Like, I mean, you know me,
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I can't do the late nights, but like I say, I'm not
Poor
trying to say
butt.
let's go, but yeah,
No, that's fine with me though. You know me. P, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just wanted to get that Carl Jung quote in there. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, that was a good one actually, and like I say, I mean, it is. Again, I mean, I can't ever agree that the individual is more important than the group, but when that's talking again in a general sense, when I'm talking about myself in a set situation, like there may be a time where I think, yeah, all right, not much chance for anyone else, but I've got a good chance myself. Off, you know. I mean, it's.
you got to think of it from like the leader's perspective. Like, do you think it's easier to control a bunch of group hive-minded people, or is it easier to control a bunch of individuals, right? So
Yeah. No, I mean, from that point of view, certainly. Yeah.
They're indoctrinating us into that mentality of putting the group above the individual, and that's why we need some good thinking to counter that. Because I think the truth is that the individual is more important than the group. So.
But it's the same with the legal system as well, while we're all just numbers in the legal system. I feel like it's less personal, it's more statistics and money, and we're just a group of people. Like same when I was talking about mortgages a while ago, on paper I can't get a mortgage, but if somebody actually spoke to me and had a conversation with me and was like, and I can show, because I can show you exactly where all of my money comes and goes, like it's all accounted for. I know how much money I have, like you or D knows how anal I am about things. Like everything in my life is bish bash bosh. But
everything's
so on
a number
paper,
now. Like there is no individual basis.
Yeah. He mentions that, and he says that's why like the field of psychology fails with science, because they're trying to turn human beings into like statistics and data sets and make judgments off that. But we're all individuals. Like mental illness is kind of all like an individual thing, and when they approach it with the like scientific angle, they can't really get the whole truth of the matter, you know.
Well, no, the science hasn't got any truth of the matter when it comes to consciousness, for example. Like, I mean,
yeah, he says that it's kind of like back when you might disagree with this, D, but he says sort of like the same as when we went from a geocentric to a heliocentric cosmology or whatever, whatever. He's saying that's sort of like with the same thing with the brain or the mind, is that people believe it's about chemical reactions, but he believes there's something more to it, and that once science realizes there's more to the mind than just chemical reactions and the physical material, that'll be like the difference of looking at the world from when we went from geocentrism to heliocentrism. He's kind of making an analogy, right? Like we're expanding horizons.
No, Don Hoffman, I've been listening to a few of his videos recently, and he kind of uses that analogy a couple of times. But sorry, go on. And I'd advise, if you don't know him, Pete, have a look at him. He very much, he's a scientist, like mathematician and all this kind of thing, but he very much like attacks science in a way. Well, not really attacks it, but he's one of those scientists that admits that science doesn't know. If you know what I mean.
It's like these science wants to act like this infallible like church, or like it's like God back in the day, where it can't be wrong and all this stuff, and the experts are never wrong. But the science has a lot of limitations that they don't like to talk about. So it's good to keep in mind that science isn't this infallible, like perfect thing that can never be questioned.
No, and then that is exactly that the exact opposite of science, because the whole point of science is to question everything. Literally, what scientists are doing is trying to prove that every other scientist is wrong. Yeah.
But the thing is, when you got a hypothesis and you believe in it, you're famous for it, you're gonna push it, even though like against evidence that doesn't support it. So it's like, in theory, yeah, you're right, it shouldn't be dogmatic, but in practice, science can become dogmatic. Just like anything.
Very much so. Yeah. I think that's actually a pretty good place to wrap up. Science can be dogmatic, but yeah, I mean, unless you've got any final thoughts there, P.
Fuck science.
Yeah, fuck science.
Mainstream science.
No, yeah. Well, again, no, because I go into a big rant. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yeah. We will see you next Sunday. Yeah.
9 p.m.
Thanks for being here.
We may have a topic.
Have a great day. Yeah, we'll always get sidetracked. You know us. Yeah. So thanks for being here. Thanks, P. Catch you later, man.
Didn't have to jump. Oh, you won't be able to hear for a minute, but he didn't have to jump off. If ever you're a guest in future, you don't have to jump straight off. Especially before we say a proper thank you. But yeah, no.
Yeah. So thanks for popping on, P.
Any guests coming on, and it's always good. So.
So we'll see you same time next week, 9 o'clock. That's English time, GMT, for the overseas folk. Have a good week. Yeah.
Adios amigos. And now I've got to click.
Au revoir. Always.